What up, Panther Nation? What up, Ropp Star Gang? Give me 1 second here. I am trying to do something here real quick. I'm trying to get I'm gonna go live on TikTok too. I'm gonna start doing that as we do the Cybird. Glad this topic today, considering what the last few days reporting media have been. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about a lot with the media and stuff like that. Give me a second here. Bum, 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 bum. We're going to get started here shortly. All right, here we go. So what's up? What up, TikTok? It's your boy Clay. You are live on TikTok with me. We are going over embracing Bryce Young. So if you're just joining, make sure you like, share, and if you don't want to watch it from this angle, TikTok, come on over to the YouTube channel, the Ropp Star Report. Come over there, and come watch it at a different angle. All right. So, anyways, time to embrace Bryce Young. I mean, guys, let's just be honest with each other here. All right. So let's be honest. There's no reason for us to not, right? I mean, let's forget about the past and all that, but let's get into the first topic tonight. Now, there's been issues with Terrace Marshall. All right. There's issues with the Terrace Marshall confusion, right? There's the whole thing, as we're preparing for this week 6 showdown against Miami. There's been various stories, rumors have been making headlines. Panthers are finding themselves in a terrible situation. All right. So, there's grappling issues that range from the ownership disputes to social media, clashes. There's passionate. I get it that we're a little bit of a passionate fan base. I wouldn't say we're full blown like passionate fan base, but there's just too much turmoil significantly that's dampening this team's morale. It's making one of the most challenging. I feel like one of the most challenging periods in our franchise history. Now I know we got a bye week coming up. It can't come soon enough because before they reach that much needed time off, they have several pressing matters and causing debate among fans, myself, with you guys as well. But these include the controversial decisions to draft Bryce Young, the utilization of Chuba Hubbard, the baffling absence of Terrace Marshall Jr., right? The dismal performance and now our power rankings. So it kind of comes into the situation of, Frank Wright's recent comments about Terrace Marshall his lack of playing time against the Detroit Lions have really raised some questions about coaching to me and the communication and decision making. Marshall, who was a second round pick, expressed his bewilderment not receiving a significant offensive snap in the game. And I thought he had an impressive performance, at least against the Minnesota Vikings. So the situation really reflects on the ongoing turmoil within this Panthers organization, placing additional pressure on the coaches, hired during the offseason at a considerable expense, right? But the thing is the Carolina Panthers now, guys, have hit rock bottom in the power rankings. All right, guys, make sure as you're coming into the YouTube channel, make sure you pound that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Also, feel free to join the Discord. The Discord is in the link tree. Make sure you get in there, join that, get involved with me and the other guys that I'm growing this community with. Make sure you get in there, and do so. All right. Make sure you get there, get in there, and then we're doing a giveaway this Friday. So don't forget about it. If you join the Discord, we're doing a jersey giveaway this Friday. So make sure you get involved in that. The best way you can do so is join the Discord. Screenshot that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Put it in the hashtag giveaway Discord, and you'll be able to go from be able to get involved in that. Okay. But yeah. Make sure y'all get in the chat section as well. Appreciate y'all getting the chat session. Share the live out. I would greatly appreciate it. All right. Share the live out. And just make sure you pound that like button like it owes you money. All right. So, Sideburn, I see you in there. I see you in the Discord chat now. I see you in the Discord. I got an update from you. So, I appreciate you joining. But Chris, what's up, Chris? What's up, y'all? I think they should trade Marshall if they can't get anything for him. They aren't using him right. Might as well. I mean, we're not even using him at all. Honestly deserve to be at the bottom of the power ranks. Yeah. I mean, we do, right? I mean, it's a disappointing performance after disappointing performance, right? You know, that we definitely held the title of the worst team in the NFL right now. And we're the only winless team after 5 weeks. Even relinquished, you know, our top pick in the 2024 draft to the Chicago Bears, which is crazy. So with a tough matchup against the Miami Dolphins, which obviously we're on the verge of going 0-6 right before the bye week, it's a far cry from the lofty promises of the NFC South contention and made by the front office at the beginning of the season. And as a result of this disappointment performances after disappointment of performance, right? We are now 32nd in the power rankings heading into week 6, and it's a significant new low. Now, running back Miles Sanders is also highlighted as one of the biggest fantasy football disappointments, but also running back this signings. I wasn't a big Miles Sanders fan when we signed him. I wasn't about it. It didn't make sense to me because you had Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard who were doing just fine. They were putting on a performance for this team. And you chose to pay a guy more money that is doing less work. Now, the thing is why? You know, why sign this guy why fix something that isn't broke, right? So, and you could have paid Deontay Foreman less money, and you could have just had this two-headed monster in the backfield, right? So, now further compounding this team's woes as well. Like, he's also been a guy who we brought in, paid all this money, 4-year, $25 million contract, $16 million guarantee with I want to say a $3 million signing bonus, if I'm not mistaken. But you also, none of us put into the factor that he was behind one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. I mean, so it didn't make sense for me to sign him. We could have taken that money, signed it a wide receiver that can create separation to help Bryce out. But we chose to sign a running back that has a momentum killer, and he has just killed this team drive after drive after drive after drive, right? What's up, TikTok? If you're over there on the TikTok side, we are on my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. Go check it out. But I'm coming at you live on TikTok as well. I'm going to start doing this every time I go live on YouTube. I will be live on TikTok as well. So make sure you like over there. Follow me on TikTok if you're just joining. But come on over to the YouTube channel if you want to see a different angle of the show. So the only way from here, guys, at least from this standpoint, is up. I mean, that's the best way I can put it, right? We're ranked third. The power rankings got us at, the number 32. We've got some critical stretch of games after the bye week. There are some chances that we could regain some momentum if necessary adjustments are made. But I don't trust this front office to do so. I just don't. I don't trust this Panthers front office to fix any of this. I got to stand up. Thank God for a stand-up desk. All right, so let's continue. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream on YouTube. Everybody that's on YouTube, I appreciate you. Make sure you pound the like button like it owes you money. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure you get in the chat, guys. Love to hear y'all's thoughts as we go throughout the show. Now, Chuba Hubbard's involvement to this offense. Okay. All right. The Panthers have issues in this rushing attack, right? Miles Sanders is obviously the culprit in this. You know, I get it, right? Miles Sanders has maybe dealing with some groin issues, but his Pro Bowl level of production this from previous season to now is just disappeared. Okay. This has led to calls for Chuba Hubbard to take more of a prominent role as the primary running back here. So the team writer, Dan Grant, came out and acknowledged the potential of Hubbard's physical inside running style, but also suggest a committee approach with various people like Laviska Shenault, who has shown some promise, I thought, in the last game, kind of having that Deebo Samuel style with him, right? So the contrast with the preseason expectations of Sanders becoming an elite three down threat for the Panthers. So I'm hoping that they're going to bench Miles. I just think that it's time to go ahead and bench him because there's been too many momentum shifts with how many fumbles he's had already this season. It's time to just bench him. Maybe that during the bye week we can market him, trade him. I mean, I get that we gave him a nice contract of $4 million for 4 years for $25 million, but it's just not working. I think that we need to solve that running back issue. I get the offensive line issues. I get the injuries, not creating run lanes. I get all that. But when at the end of the day, when you are continuously fumbling the ball, when we have momentum on our side and you're just a momentum killer, it's time to say, all right, time to bench him. And I get it. He's had groin issues too, but if that's the case, why play him? Why are we even taking the chances of playing him? But we should be looking to trade him. I would try to trade him. I don't know how much of the cap would take a hit if we trade him, but 4 years, $25 million, $16 million guaranteed, $3 million sign-in bonus, and I don't even know, you've barely broken over 200 yards in 5 games. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. TikTok, if you're over there joining, JW's in there. What's up, JW? Make sure you're pounding the like button over there. Guys over on the YouTube channel, make sure you pound the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. All right, let's move on. So next thing is up here is decision to select Bryce. So despite we've had some early issues, right? Bryce appears to be gaining some confidence each and every week. I feel like he's progressed a little bit each and every week. I think the doubts are creeping in among certain people in our fan base because they're fueled by this team's poor performance, and they're seeing CJ Stroud, his impressive start in Houston. Now, reports have come out suggesting that the team owner exerted a significant influence in selecting Young. A move that might have bumped heads a little bit with Frank Wright, but Tepper's influence was a factor and is still open for debate. Okay, we don't know, right? We can only go based off what we're hearing, what we're seeing, what we're reading, right? All right, we don't know. So this ongoing speculation does not really favors for Young or the team. The highline, they need to really take a unified approach to let Young leverage his strengths, find ways for the team's offensive weapons to make an impact. So at the end of the day, that's why I'm saying embrace Bryce Young, because the past is the past. There's nothing we can do about it now. The only thing you can do is try to build around him, put a system around him, put some players around him, and hope for the best, because you, at this point, you have nothing else to lose. So that's the best thing I can say, right? Now, here is the next thing that we're going to be talking about with this whole thing. Is David Tepper's influence hindering this Panthers progress? Okay. Yeah, Cyburn. I mean, I agree with you. Next season, do we draft a running back in second round? Chris Mack, I don't know. I don't like drafting running backs. I just don't. I don't see, if you want to get one in the later rounds, sure. But that first, second, third, even fourth, I'm not a big fan of drafting running backs. Unless it's like somebody that is, unless you're gonna, unless it's like another Bijan Robinson coming out of nowhere, or a Christian McCaffrey. But I just don't see the point, right? I really don't. I'm not a big fan of drafting running backs, especially in the first round, second round. I'm not too high on that. I think right now, if we're going to draft anything, if we're just going to stick with what we got and the draft picks of what we got, I'd be trying to build in within the trenches. I'd be trying to build the offensive line and defensive line up. I'm a big trench guy. I believe that the trenches win you football games. Yes, a franchise quarterback in the NFL definitely helps that, but building within the trenches, I think, is the biggest key to having success. And then you can put you can add on the pieces later on. So that's just my opinion. Max Sanchez is in the chat here. I really think Bryce will progress during the season. It's not easy to any quarterback to be in the situation we have. Exactly. That's why we're gonna talk more about that. Greetings from Argentina, by the way. Awesome, Max. Max C. Appreciate you joining from Argentina. Chuba and Sanders are fine. Sanders is not fine, Maxie. Sorry, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. Chuba's outperforming him by far. I think it's time to sit Sanders, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I think it's time to sit him down. And whether this groin injury is the main concern or reason why he's lack of performance or not, but I think it's time to sit him down. What would you do in the second round? Wide receiver, left guard? It just all depends, man. I mean, it depends if we try to make moves. Part of me wants to make moves and make trades and get draft capital now, trade some guys. Even if it means trading Brian Burns, and we get like a first round and a second round, right? But it's tough to say, right? It's tough to say. Agreed. They have to unify developing at this point. That to me signals the Panthers' biggest problem. The owner, GM, head coach, quarterback aren't on the same page. More like owner and QB are. Yeah, Cyber, and it's crazy to me how much, it's crazy to me how much this David Tepper is actually being involved. I mean, is it a good thing? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's good. But when he's getting involved with picking players, and getting involved with scouting and stuff like that, I believe that owners should be the guys who are handling the business side of things, not picking players, because I don't feel like any of these owners really know how to scout talent. So at the end of the day, you need to be trying to sell T-shirts, hot dogs. You need to be trying to sell, tickets, jerseys. That's what you need to be worried about. You want to be involved, sure, but I've never seen, besides Jerry Jones, other owners get involved like this. And I get David Tepper wants to win now, but whoever decided to think that bringing in a DJ Chark, Adam Thielen, a Miles Sanders, I like Hayden Hurst, but bringing those kinds of guys, I mean, Thielen's been great, but Chark, drafting Marshall, guys who just have underachieved by far. That I'm not sure if that was Tepper or if it's more of our GM. So it's a lot. There's a lot of confusion to this, and I'm trying to make light of the situation, trying to understand it more. So say we trade. So Chris Mack comes in and says, "Say we trade Burns for a first and second next season. What would you do? What would you draft to help the team?" Well, it depends on what number we would get, right? I mean, it depends who we trade with, right? If we can get even if it doesn't matter how high we draft, a first round pick's a first round pick, and it's better than nothing, right? But that means that we would have 2 second-round picks this year. If we could get a first-round pick this year and a second-round pick this year, I would say your first-round pick should be I think for us, I'm going to go defensive tackle in the first round because here's the thing. We can't stop the run to save our lives, right? This team can't stop the run. So, we have to get a defensive tackle to help Derek Brown in the middle to stuff the run. I think that's a big issue. Then in the second round, I'm building the trenches. I'm going offensive line, maybe go offensive lineman, a wide receiver in the second round. And I still think you could get a decent wide receiver in the second round. And then maybe get a pass rusher just to kind of have a replacement there, right? So then you got your defensive tackle. Then in the third round, go for an offensive lineman. You were able to get Brady Christensen in the third round. So I feel like we could probably find another kind of guy like a Brady Christensen in the third round. And now you've got your defensive tackle, you've got your replacement edge rusher, you got a wide receiver, and you've got your, and then you've got your left guard. But part of me also wants to get a middle linebacker. We haven't had a decent middle linebacker since Luke Kuechly. So, I would love to get somebody like that. What's up, Panthers World? Guys, if you're watching on TikTok, you can come and watch the live over on my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio on TikTok. There's a link tree. It will take you right over to my YouTube channel. There's a different view over here. So feel free to come on over. Yeah, I agree. Chuba should be number one, but for the moment, I'll stick with them. I think we should be looking on getting a solid O-line at first. I mean, I get that, but Miles Sanders should not be running the ball anymore this season. He's just been a momentum killer. What are your thoughts on trading Burns? Well, I kind of just reiterated that, but I would say if you're not going to sign him, what's the point of keeping him? Right? If you're not going to sign him, what's the point of keeping him? Right? So what's the point of keeping him? You might as well get the value out of him now that you can before the value goes away, right? The value is going to go down more and more as we hold on to him. So either you keep him or you trade him. But the problem is with Burns is since he's the only guy on this team, I feel like we could get a first-round pick for. Yo, Robstar, any moves? No moves yet. I have heard rumors, though, guys. Rumors are out there right now that the Panthers have been in talks with the Denver Broncos about Jeremy Chinn for Jared Jeudy. It could be a straight-up trade. I'm an advocate for it. I'm cool with that because Jeremy Chinn hasn't done nothing for us, and he doesn't fit this defensive system. He's a great player. I think he could fit anywhere else. But with Evero's system, he just doesn't fit, and he hasn't made an impact. So, unfortunately, I think he's just going to be a better fit somewhere else. If we're going to stick with Evero's defensive style, you're going to have to – I would trade him. If the Denver Broncos are open to trading him for straight up for Jared Jeudy, I'm about it. That's also the issue, too. Matt Chatter. We're gonna talk more about that. That's why this topic is David Tepper hindering the Panthers' progress? So it would be sad, but he's the only person that could get us a first round pick. I definitely agree. We need a defensive tackle, defensive line, and a left guard that would help. Yep, exactly. Yeah, but I wouldn't be upset if we went instead of in the first round, if we did get a first round pick somehow, and if we went middle linebacker first, I wouldn't be mad about that. Yeah, we just haven't had anything since the Luke Kuechly days, guys. Plug, Jeremy, Cole Beasley. Plug, Cole Beasley. No, I'm not kidding. Cole Beasley is too old, man. He's too old. He's not going to make a significant impact on this damn wide receiver group. I know. It's bad. I know, Cyburn. It's bad. We need to find some time, Stone, and go back to stop Tepper from buying the team. Joshua, I would love that. I would love nothing more than that. I would love to figure that out. Judy he's good, man. He's great. He would be perfect for our offense because he gets open in the middle of the field, and that's where Bryce significantly likes to go a lot. So that's the reason why I think he would be a good fit for this offense. And he can get open. He's a hell of a route runner. I know people are like, well, he has an injury history. Not significantly enough where he's out for the whole season. He's not had an ACL tear. I looked it up. He had an MCL, but he was only out for, I think it said 6 games, and he came back and made a significant impact. So, it's nothing crazy. Burns will get traded in the offseason. They will tag him. It's either that or they trade him. Yeah, Chris Mack, that's what I'm saying. It's going to help him help us. How tall, how fast? Trust me. Go look up some highlights. He's nasty. I mean, that's been some rumors for a while, Match out of that nobody's made some moves on that. I think he could, but I think he's a guy that you actually want to build around. I think he's just a guy you want to build around right now. If this is a middle linebacker or Parsons kind of play in the first, that would be nice. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we could get 2 seconds and a third for Burns. Yeah. I mean, I would do it because then if you have a second round pick this year, you could possibly trade 2 second round picks for a first. You could do that and then still have a second round pick. That means we would have like 3 second round picks. Cole gets open, costs you nothing. He doesn't fit the offensive system. Thielen's in the position that Beasley would be in, Matt Chatter. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Thielen's is in the position where Beasley would be. It just doesn't make sense. You're not going to move Thielen to the outside. What about JC? Injuries have been tough during this few years. I think that the only thing you can do at this point with JC Horn is that you pick up his 5th-year option and you see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and you move on. And you either just let him walk or you trade him and see if you can get some significant money, right? I mean, he's just. Not money, but draft capital or whatever. But I just don't think, I just think he's injury prone. And unfortunately for me, because I love JC being a Gamecock fan, he's just injury prone, man. And no offense, the best ability in the NFL is availability. So, I would trade JC Horn. I mean, he can't stay healthy. He just can't. Ropp, would you trade Brian Burns? I mean, at this point, Rock Jones, I just don't know. I mean, like, we don't have a first round pick this year, right? So the only person that you're going to get draft capital for, maybe in the first round right now, is Burns. Maybe Luvu. I mean, because Luvu is on a contract year right now, he's looking for an extension. But you could trade him, and there might be a first-round pick for Luvu. I don't know. But I kind of feel like Luvu's a guy you would want to build around because he's only a year older than Burns, so he could be a guy you could build around. But it's tough to say. It's very tough to say. Yeah, Horn's got to be moved. Sanders has to be moved. Package of two of the second rounds and a third to move into the bottom mid. Wouldn't be bad, Marcos. I mean, it does make sense, right? But because if you do that, then you have, like, let's say you do that for this year. Let's say all those picks are for this year. That means that we would have 3 second round picks, right? And then we would have a third round pick, right? Which means we would have 3 second rounds and then 2 third rounds. Then you could take 2 of those second round picks and a third to trade up into the mid first, which means then you would still have a first, second, and third. So it does make sense, Marcos. I like your thought process on that, and I'm all about it too. Does Wright survive if we are winless after Texas? I can't see it. I mean, maybe, but can we, if we win any of those games, he's not going to be gone. But I think at this point, Joshua, they're going to stick with Wright no matter what. I really do. I think that they're not going to move on from Wright, unfortunately. I just don't see it. So TikTok, if you're over there, make sure you like the live. And if you want to come and join the YouTube channel, come over to the YouTube channel. Come over to in the link tree. Come join over here. Who's in here right now? Colby, thank you for joining. Neva, thank you for joining. Rookie Bets, thank you for joining. Logan, thank you for joining. Austin, Nisha, Katrina, Alexandria Trebetter, JW, Nick, Blake, Excel, B-Man, thank you for all joining. Clay Harddacker, thank you for joining. So anyway, so I'll get into the chat, guys. I'll get in the chat with you over here in YouTube. I'll get on the chat. So let's get into this topic. Is David Tepper's influence hindering the Carolina Panthers' progress? Because we find ourselves in a struggle to remain competitive. And then, of course, questions are being raised about the role of a team owner, David Tepper, and these ongoing challenges. Since Matt Rule's departure as head coach 1 year ago, the Panthers have undergone significant changes, yet on-the-field performance remains still shit, right? So, despite acquiring a franchise quarterback in this past NFL draft, the belief that this team was ready for an immediate resurgence of some sort, I think was overly optimistic. And I think for me, I drank that Kool-Aid, right? I was one that drank that Kool-Aid, right? So I was one of the guys that drank it, right? And of course, it's backfired, okay? So with an 0-5 record now, then we got to play the Miami Dolphins this week, right? And we're 0-6. It's likely we're going to be heading into the bye week 0-6, right? So this situation has left me, other Carolina Panther fans, frustrated, right? Given this team's glory days back in 2015, have given away consistent underperformance and questionable decisions from top to bottom. So the focal point of criticism is David Tepper, who, despite being a vocal presence during the offseason, okay, has seemingly withdrawn as the team struggles. He bought this team for a record of $2.2 billion from Jerry Richardson. Tepper has made promises of success, transformation, but the team has remained non-competitive. among NFL teams, the most underachieving team in the NFL, the worst team in the NFL now. So Tepper's hands-on approach and involvement in Football Matters have been a topic of discussion with his analytical style yielding limited success. Guys, YouTube, we have 20 people watching and only 7 likes. Make sure you pound that like button. All right. More we like, the more the algorithm gets out there to the YouTube universe. Okay. That's how we grow the channel. That's how we grow the community. All right. So make sure you pound that like button, guys. All right. So make sure you're pounding that like button. Share the live. It goes a long way. The more you like, the more you share, the more we get people in here, the more the chat grows, the more this channel grows. So make sure you pound the like button. The algorithm will get out to others that maybe does not know about the channel. Okay? So it's a cause of concern. Right? The competitive nature, the desire for immediate results can create a really challenging interactions while some owners take the hands-off approach. But obviously, Tepper is one of those ones that decides to be hands-on, which may not always be beneficial, right? So Tepper's efforts to try to reshape this team were initially well received. It's becoming clear that he struggles to stay out of matters, right? That should be left to the experts, right? Tepper's owner style definitely compares to Jerry Jones. I don't care what people say. Whose team who has not won a Super Bowl in almost 3 decades, despite annual hype. At least our franchise, I know we haven't won, right? I know that we haven't won I know we haven't won a Super Bowl, but at least we've made one compared to them. So the Panthers are currently on track to secure a number 1 overall pick in 2024, but yet that's going to the Chicago Bears because of the trade we made for Bryce Young last year. And Bryce Young has showed some promise, all right? The team's overall performance leaves much to be desired, wanting more. But Tepper's meddling has not been conducive to our success, and it's important to understand that we are becoming impatient, and the desire to have the final say on football decision must be contributed to the team's struggles. And that means that we need Tepper to back off. I don't care what Tepper does. Tepper needs to go play golf. He needs to go do whatever it is. But get out of the football operations, whether that's coaching, free agency, whatever the case may be. All right. So effective ownership typically involves trusting football experts to make football decisions, right? So the principle seems lost on Tepper, right? His belief is that his business translate into effective NFL roster construction is proven to be a recipe for disaster. So the consequences of this approach are becoming increasingly evident, and it remains to be seen whether Tepper will adapt an approach to support the Panthers' journey success, or he will continue to falter this team as he has done by getting involved. Right? So, guys, make sure you pound that like button. Yeah, 11 viewers, only 5 likes. Well, it was 20 viewers and only 5 likes. So there should have been no reason why we aren't at 20 likes, guys. Come on. I think so too. Still won't. Walt, so you don't, so when you go here, Well, I'll show you real quick. When you go to my channel, you go to memberships. This is what the membership looks like. So if you want to become a member, guys, you're more than welcome to here. Okay. Become a member of the channel now. All right. You can just show your support like that. It's right there. You go home, video, shorts, live, playlist, community, members. All right. Try that again. If it doesn't work, I'll have to edit it later. All right. 100% on board with Tepper. I'm 100% on board with Tepper. Interesting. Interesting. Tepper deserves blame. Oh, let me put this back up. Tepper deserves blame for sure. He's the only person that won't change in all of this as an owner. There's no culture or hunger, family, or ride or die, band of brothers. Did the Panthers mismanage Baker, or Baker was not? I think it's a mismanagement. I'm starting to think that when we brought in Baker, I mean, look what he's doing over at the Bucks. Part of me thinks it is a mismanagement, but part of me also thinks that when he was coming off that injury, right? And then but then he goes over to Tampa Bay and looks what he's doing. So, it is what it is. Baker's a wash, man. I'm not sure Baker's wash. Go to mutual funds. I'm not sure if Baker's washed. He was garbage last year. I just don't think Baker's washed. I mean, look what he's doing now in Tampa Bay. It's kind of hard to be a shitty quarterback when you have weapons like Godwin and Mike Evans, though. I mean, we do have to be honest with ourselves from that standpoint. I'm going through the chat here, and we'll get into the next thing. He does need to back off day-to-day operations, but can Tepper? That's the question, right? Like, I think he needs to back off. I think that there's too much pressure on Frank Wright. There's too much pressure on Scott Fitterer. I think that the part of me, though, also thinks that we need to regroup this front office and have better scouts. I think that's also a problem. I think we need to have better scouts. I think we got to look at to getting some other guys in here from a scouting standpoint, because they're definitely not doing us any favors with the free agency and the drafts that they've done. Man, someone needs some dirt on Tepper. Get him out of here. I wish there was a way to do so. I wish there was a way to do so. So I wish we could find some dirt on him, but it doesn't sound like we got any dirt on him right now. Marcos, thank you for helping Walt G out. Appreciate you for doing that. Part of me also thinks there's too many egos, too many voices in this organization that is colliding and causing issues. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. So I used to work for a company. For some of you who don't know, my full-time job is I'm a software engineer, but I do YouTube and I do NFL content as my side hobbies, and I love doing it, right? That's why I'm live every single day, Monday through Friday and Sunday, 6 days a week, right? Now, TikTok's a different story. I haven't been going live on TikTok enough, but now we're live on YouTube more and more. So the thing is, oh, we got a new member, Cyburn. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I tried to put the membership as low as possible. I really only wanted to do like 99 cents a month, but that was the lowest I could get it. YouTube, for some reason, wouldn't allow me. I only wanted to do it for like $1 a month, right? Or something like that, like something very simple. Because as we grow and the memberships will be able to, I'll be able to do more stuff for the people that become members, right? So I'm going to start doing some other private stuff on the side for you guys. But Cyburn, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you so much. We're starting to get some members now. I think you're the second member on my channel. So I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Found it on Android. Interesting. So is it an Android thing or is it? So yeah, thank you, Marcos. Thank you for helping the guys out. Marcos, I might have to make you a moderator for the channel. Seems I haven't done that yet. I need to get some moderators for the chat. Might have to start doing that here soon as we continue to grow, because as we continue to pound that like button, we continue to grow. This chat's gonna get like rambunctious. I can barely keep up with it now. So definitely gonna have to do that. So, but I appreciate you becoming a member, Cyburn. Thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me. The iPhone, you have to go to the actual page, then join. Oh, okay. All right, so there you go. So I think it's time for him to back off, man. I just think it's time for Tepper to back off. All right, so let's get into this. All right, Bryce Young, right? We want this guy to be a franchise guy, right? We want this guy to be here for the future, right? That's what we drafted him for, right? So I'm going to put my iPhone on this. No. I want it here. There we go. Hold on, guys. I got to fix something. I have to fix my ring light here. No way. Oh, dude, that sucks. Never mind. I guess I can't fix it. All right. Screw it. I have to fix it later. It's all good. In the hood. Okay. Paper Crane Tarot. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you so much. So anyways, we're talking about embracing Bryce Young. Okay. All right. In the vibrant world of this roller coaster ride of an organization for the Carolina Panthers, it's a mixture of emotions for me, guys. There's been so much turmoil with this season when we're only 5 games in. We've got 12 more games to go through this whole season, plus the bye week coming up. This has just been an unpredictable roller coaster ride with this team. David Tepper at the helm. He embarked on this offseason of filling soaring expectations, but the reality has become a different story for us, right? After just 5 weeks, we are now 0-5. And these lofty dreams of us, thinking we were going to win the division, thinking that we got our franchise guy, that we had enough pieces around him, that we've done enough, right? That we've done enough. We've got enough pieces around him, but those obviously not, right? I have multiple times come on here and said why we are an atrocious organization right now. Didn't make the right off-season moves. Didn't get the right talent. Didn't add depth in the right positions, right? Didn't put pieces, wide receivers not creating separation. So there goes the lack of talent, right? Injuries. The injury bugs have not been good to us. Dante Jackson's gone down. J.C. Horn's gone down. We've even seen our starting Shaq Thompson's out for the season. Our starting left guard, Brady Christian's out for the season. Austin Corbett's trying to come back from a ACL injury that he had last year, right? So all those issues are evident. Another thing, you didn't re-sign Brian Burns, but then you chose to not take the draft picks that you could have got for him last year, right? You didn't take that Rams first and second and two first round picks and second round picks that you were offered to you for Brian Burns. But then you don't also sign him. So that makes me question your commitment to key players. Coaching wise, the play calling has been very vanilla. It's very easy, right? Very vanilla. Frank Wright needs to hand over the reins to Thomas Brown, and he needs to become a game managing head coach. There's a list of things that we have not done correctly to help Bryce out. That's why I'm saying forget about the past, right? Forget about the past. Forget about what, you know, what anybody else is saying. We need to forget about the past. Okay? We need to forget about what we're talking about with, saying Bryce is a bust. This whole Bryce bust thing is ridiculous too. It's getting out of hand. He's not a bust. It's not his fault that a team didn't do these correct things, right? You know what I mean? Guys, make sure you pound that like button. But the things that we didn't do, right? The things that have with the reason why we're atrocious. But this is why I'm going to dive into why, right? I'm going to dive into why we need to embrace Bryce here in a minute. But I want to make this clear because these are the major concerns of why this team is plagued and why we're in the position we are. Again, the offseason moves. I want to reiterate this one more time, and I'll let it go after I'm done, and then I'll tell you why to embrace him. Okay? The offseason moves, both in the draft and free agency, did us no good, right? You didn't make the right choices. Lack of talent and the depth that you chose obviously were the wrong moves. Injuries, obviously, losing Shaq Thompson, J.C. Horn for a time period now. Austin Corbett trying to come back from that ACL. Again, then you lose Dante Jackson. We lost him for the game last week. I don't know how long he's out for, right? You lose Xavier Woods for 6 to 8 weeks. You lose your starting left tackle, right? The list goes on and on when it comes to injuries. But then you also got to talk about the lack of discipline of this team and the motivation of this team. There's no motivation. There's no coach getting in your face. There's no emotion. Where's Deuce Staley? Where is Deuce Staley at? Because all offseason, all I heard was that chirping from him. But yet I haven't heard any chirping. I haven't heard any motivation. Where is that at? If Frank's not going to do it, somebody's got to. Somebody's got to get in these guys' faces and start putting some motivation into them. Why do you think Dan Campbell went from 1-5 last year? Started 1-5 last year in 6 games. 1-5 last year. And now has turned that franchise around and ever since he started 1-5 last year, he's 10-3. Because he wants his players to excel and he motivates them to do so. And we don't have that. Why is Deuce Staley, as an assistant head coach, not getting in these guys' faces and trying to make them excited to be here? At least it's somewhat. I get it. You're 0-5, but there's got to be some fire in your gut that wants to win and wants to play good football and wants to excel and be successful in the NFL. There's got to be some part of that in these guys' minds and stomachs. But there's a lack of discipline, though. Issues that have plagued this team, resulting in costly penalties, false starts after false starts after false starts, and mistakes, offside penalties as well, has hurt our chances to win games because in the Detroit game, 3 turnovers all turned into touchdowns. Same thing in Atlanta. All 3 turnovers turned into touchdowns. That's a lack of discipline. The play calling. It just needs a fresh perspective, guys. It just needs a fresh perspective. And Frank Wright needs to become a game manager and start using his head when it comes to managing the team, managing the players on the field, the clock, right? Communicating with your quarterback, developing him, helping him out, making the right decisions, because that is what you're known for, Frank. Thomas Brown's background is how the new style play calling comes. He runs a lot of shift motions, right? He runs he has that creative play calling. He brings new ideas to this offense. Let him do that. Okay? Take the shackles off of Bryce. Let him play freely. That's what Thomas Brown's going to do. All right? It doesn't matter, Sports Network, if we had CJ Stroud. I guarantee you we'd still have the same issues we're talking about right now. Doesn't matter if Frank wanted him or not. It's the past. I'm not going to live in the past. If y'all want to live in the past, y'all continue to live in the past. Y'all continue to say, well, we should have went with Stroud. We should have went with Richardson. Go ahead. You do that. Okay? You do that. You continue to live in the past. I'm going to live in the present. Because it's not going to matter if we had CJ Stroud or if we had Anthony Richardson. The issues is going to still happen. These issues are still going to be lingering to the problem that we have. Right? Again, struggles on the offensive line. Been a weak point. I get it. Injuries have further hampered their performance, but they have struggled to protect the quarterback and they have struggled to create opportunities for the run game. Cornerback depth. This cornerback room lacks depth. I've been telling you, it's about as shallow as a kid's swimming pool when it comes to our cornerback room depth. Then the wide receiver issues. This group is unable to consistently create separation from defenders, which hinders your passing game efficiency. No run game, right? Does not help your franchise quarterback, does not help him out to take pressure off of him when you can't run the ball. And Miles Sanders was a waste of $25 million. I don't care what anybody says. That was a terrible signing, and I wasn't about it. I didn't like it from the start when I found out about it because he was behind the best offensive line in football. The defensive line issues, they continue to struggle to stop the run. They are getting ran through. And then the last but not least, the Brian Burns situation, right? Again, you did not extend Brian Burns. But then back in November of 2022, and at the trade deadline, you were offered by the Los Angeles Rams 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick for him. And you chose not to go do that. So it raises concerns to me about commitment to your key players, which means it raises some concerns to me. Are you going to actually do the right things to help this guy out? Are you going to do the right things to help Bryce out? But this comment right here, yeah, Tepper might be the problem, okay? And I think it is. But at the same time, saying Frank wanted Stroud, that means nothing to me. Because guess what? We got Bryce, and there ain't nothing we can do about it now at this point. So now we have to embrace with what we've got, okay? You have to embrace with what we got. You can't just sit here and say, you got to forget about the past. Like I said, we have to make this work now. Okay? Because the most intriguing twist in this drama isn't the scorecard. It's the story of Bryce. because the bold move to go up, get him in the number 1 overall pick in last year's draft. Obviously, the stage was set for an instant turnaround, right? However, the reports suggest that owner David Tepper obviously played a significant role, again, in this selection expectation, right? Or selection, whatever. Okay. The speculation abounds that he overruled Frank Wright for CJ Stroud. Okay. So making these waves in the NFL world, in the landscape, right? And obviously, all these ripples of these revelations are going to spread far and wide. And it's vital to remember that the past decisions are set in stone. The die is cast, and the future of the franchise obviously rests squarely on Bryce Young's shoulders at this point. And this is an opportunity for the Panthers to either to harness the talent they got and the potential they got with Young, or we just continue to go down the same path that we're going down now. Because the Panther Nation invested an immense amount of capital in the promising of Bryce Young. So the instinct of their commitment could even impact their prospects in the 2024 draft. Therefore, the only guiding ship now is Young's development. So what appears to yet be another challenge in this Carolina season, right? So Frank Wright, initial preference for Stroud, while intriguingly enough, it's not a footnote in the grand scheme of things. What should be the forefront is align the offensive strategy, the play calling, around Bryce Young's strength, right? Young's had an exceptional college career. We can't deny that. Austrian NFL, I got you, man. I got you. Guys, as you're coming in, please make sure you pound the like button. Share the live out. I greatly appreciate it, right? So, and then I'm going to get into the chat. I promise you I will get to everybody in the chat. I promise. All right? I like to go on my rants, and then I like to get into the chat. I promise you I will get into the chat. Okay? But he has remarkable processing abilities, I think. I think he also has rapid progression reading. I think I think he is very good. And I think he can be a franchise guy. But whether or not Tepper's influence was a factor, right? What's certain is that Young's potential should be maximized. And it's time for this coaching staff to adapt and harness Young's talents. All right? Because the failure to do so would be, and you're going to not only destroy this kid, guys, but we may never see Bryce in the NFL again if you don't adapt, right? Every quarterback in the NFL, I don't care what you say. Yes, they all have God-given talent. Okay? They all have God-given talent. But they also are all system quarterbacks. Every quarterback in the NFL is a system quarterback. It's the same thing like I've always said in the UFC, right? UFC fighters, I still think to this day, styles wins fights. Same thing in the NFL, right? Certain systems work for certain players. Not every system works for every player, even with their God-given talent. It just doesn't. That's just how it is. But you have to adapt to these players. If you choose to draft them and you choose to or sign them, you have to adapt to these players' strengths, whether you like it or not. So in a season that's been nothing but predictable, just like the play calling, the focus must shift to nurturing the bright future of embodying Bryce Young. The Panthers must rise above all this noise, okay, and the spotlight of this young star, right? There's a lot of challenges ahead. I get that. But with the right guidance, I think Young could become the beacon of hope for this team. But you have to be able to adapt to change. You have to be able to adapt to change. All right, I'll get into the chat now. YouTube, what you got for me? Let's see what are y'all in here for. Again, Cyburn, thank you for becoming a member of the YouTube channel. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bryce needs to bulk up, work on his arm strength, and last of all, have fun slinging that ball around. It's hard to do the fun part when you have a control freak of a head coach that can't seem to take the shackles off of your quarterback and not just be free with it, right? Akeem Law. I mean, listen, corners is definitely there's so many positions we need to look at, right? If I wrote every position I would write down right now, it would be defensive tackle, offensive left guard, right guard. I would be looking into middle linebacker, corner, wide receiver, tight end, like that. Like it's like almost every position we lack in from a depth standpoint. It's pretty ridiculous. What was a waste was giving DJ Moore and the first rounder, which we could have used this year. I think so. I mean, I don't disagree with that, but if you wanted Bryce or if you wanted CJ Stroud or one of those franchise quarterbacks, you have to trade up. I mean, it was either DJ Moore or it was Brian Burns, right? But you could also made that trade that this past offseason, right? November 2022, you could have traded Brian Burns for 2 first-round picks and a second round from the Los Angeles Rams, and they didn't jump on that. So there you go. I bet if we had our first rounder, we could have gotten Marvin. Maybe. Austrian NFL, man, appreciate you joining. You have time. Haha. I heard news that the Raiders are interested in Burns, which I've heard about this too. Damn, y'all can't even see me when these things pop up. I might have to move this. Hold on. Let me fix this real quick. Y'all can't even see me when it comes to the chat. All right, there we go. Just update the layout. Okay, that looks like shit. Hold on. Let's see what that looks like now. That's better. I'll do that. I'll deal with that. I can deal with that. At least you can see me now over the chats. So what do you think Burns for a first and Hunter Renfrow? Bryce is the guy. Rookies always struggle. If the Raiders want to give up a first, that's fine. Because they're gonna be a top 15 pick at least, because they're not gonna be I don't think they'll be too high of a draft pick. So top 5, I would say at least top 15, right? Dude, why are these ads keep popping up? Sorry, guys. Anyways, there's a bunch of ads popping up. Guys, make sure you pound the like button. What the fuck is going on with this stream today? Are there a bunch of YouTubers on today or something that I don't know about while I'm doing this? Like what's going on here? I feel like this is not normal for only 5 people to be watching me. I'm normally have like 25 to 30 people watching me. So, okay, well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why we only have such a small group in here today, but the best thing you can do so we can continue to grow this group, guys, is please make sure you pound the like button for me. It's very weird to see that. All right. Anyways, so no, back to your question, Austrian NFL. The thing is this. The thing is that I would say yes. Okay. I would say yes to trading Burns to the Raiders due to the fact for their first round pick, because it's going to be like a top 15. It's not going to be too high of a draft pick. But for Hunter Renfrow, I would say no. I think you need to give me something else than Hunter Renfrow. And here's the reason why. Because Hunter Renfrow is going to play the same position as Thielen's already playing. So it doesn't make sense to get him when you have Thielen, right? So if they could throw in something else, whatever that may be, I'd rather trade him to the Raiders for their first and second round pick and just do it that way. But I wouldn't be mad about Hunter Renfrow because I like the kid and he definitely is a great route runner and he can get open. But I'm just not sure if that really fits what we're really going for, at least from the wide receiver position, right? Guys, continue to pound that like button as you're coming in and coming out. I appreciate it. How old's Renfrow? Renfrow's 25, maybe. I don't think he's that old. He might be same age as Deshaun Watson, but I still think that's 25, right? Hunter Renfrow. 27. Okay, he's older than that. 27. I didn't realize that. Okay. I thought he was 25. All right, but he's 27. So I hope that answers your question, Austrian. But I would think that from that standpoint, guys, I would much rather just go after and get a guy like. I would rather just get draft capital for him. If the Raiders want to trade for him, that's fine. But give me draft capital. What's your wish trade for Burns? Maybe the Bears get your pick back. I mean, listen, I would love to get our pick back from the Bears, but that's not going to happen. There are trade rumors, and we're going to be talking about that here shortly, which is the next topic. At this point, why not trade the whole team, keep Bryce, and build around him? I mean, Sports Network, I'm even at that point too. Like yesterday, I was very negative. I even hopped on the Black Cat Panther podcast yesterday. I was very negative on there. I mean, but I'm also just sick of it, right? Enough's enough, right? We've been going through this for the past 5-6 years. We've never had this team has never done a full rebuild, in my opinion. We've never done a full rebuild. We've just retooled. Rather start with our guy and draft a wide receiver. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. Exactly. What's your wish trade for Burns? Maybe the Bears. I mean, listen, if I could get my first round, honestly, my wish trade would be like what the Rams offered us last offseason. It gave us 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. We would have had an extra first-round pick on top of that number 9 pick that we had. Right? We would have had a first-round pick on top of the number 9th pick that we had, plus the second-round pick. And then we would have had a first-round pick this year. So it was a 2023 first round, 2020. No, I think so. It was 2023 first round, 2024 first round, and a second round in 2023, I think, or 2024. One or the other. I would have to go back and look at it again. But that would be my dream. But now at this point, I don't see that happening. Marcos, you wouldn't put it past Chicago. I just don't see Chicago doing that. They already got their first round pick. They got their first round pick for this year, and then our pick that they got from that trade. Right? I mean, so the trade doesn't make sense for Chicago to go back. They already have 2 first round picks. But unless they really want them, I mean, then I would do the trade. But they would have. Listen, my dream trade for Brian Burns would be 2 first rounds and a second round pick, but I don't see that happening. I think we'd be lucky enough to even just get 1 first round pick. Right. So, I could see a team like the Raiders going after him. Another team I could see going after him is Kansas City. The Rams may be interested still. I'm trying to think if anybody else may be interested in him. I mean, I'm sure Miami or the Broncos are. I mean, Miami seems to be in on every single freaking deal. So, I mean, I could see Miami coming after him. I mean, Walt G, the Bills. Yeah, I mean, we're basically the Bills farm team. We've been the Bills farm team for how many years, right? Number one wide receiver. Who do you think we can get? Well, right now there's talks right now, Austrian, that the Jared Judy is somebody that we're looking at. Apparently, that we've reached out to the Broncos for a straight up trade for Jeremy Chin for Jared Judy. So I would take it. So the Rams offered a 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick to the Panthers for Brian Burns only for to decline it, right? And then the Rams offered a second, third, and fifth, along with running back Cam Akers to Carolina for Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. So we passed up on 2 big offers from the Rams Sports Network. I know both of those. I forgot about the Christian McCaffrey one, but I remember that trade being offered. I remember talking about it. And it's crazy to me that this team and this organization chose to turn down the Rams on both of those offers. Because you at least, from the Christian McCaffrey trade, right, you got Cam Akers. And I'm not saying Cam Akers is Christian McCaffrey. I'm not saying that. But you got a piece to replace him. Plus, you got a second, third, and a fifth-round pick. Right? And then you also got offered by the Rams last season before the trade deadline. The Rams offered you 2 first-round draft picks and a second-round pick for Brian Burns, and you chose not to take that trade. But then you don't sign Brian Burns this offseason. So that's why it raises concerns to me, to this front office, that they're not committed to their key players. And that's a part of the reason why I feel like where we are, right? So there are trade rumors out there, obviously, for us to get a wide receiver. There's obviously talks that they want that apparently Jeremy Chin, who I think is a great talent. I think he's very versatile. He can play nickel corner. He can play safety. He can play middle linebacker if you want to put him in there. But the thing is that he just doesn't fit Evero's defensive system right now. So I think that they're in trade talks with Denver to do a straight up trade with Jeremy Chin and Jared Judy. And if that's the case, and if it's just a straight up trade like that, I'm all for it. But this is the NFL, so I won't be surprised if some draft capital is thrown in there. Right? Urja says Bryce is good. He just needs time. Yeah, man. Appreciate you joining the live stream over here at TikTok. Anybody that's in here, appreciate y'all. I just started going live today on TikTok. So gonna try to do this more often while I'm live on YouTube. So if you want to see the YouTube, check my link tree in my bio. It will lead you over to my YouTube channel. All right. And you get a different and a better view than this angle. So Colin Weeks comes in and says most rookies aren't good in their first year. No, they're not. I didn't expect Bryce to be Patrick Mahomes or, coming out. Trevor Lawrence name was thrown around his first year saying he was a bust. Look what happened to him. They put pieces around him. He was able to start winning games. And look where they're at now. Right? So, but guys, if you're just joining the TikTok live stream, I appreciate every one of y'all. I'm going to start going live more often, talking about some Carolina Panthers football, which is what I do on the daily. I am always live on YouTube every single day. So if you want to come over and check out the YouTube channel, you can do so by going into my link tree in my bio on the TikTok and come on over and hang out with us over here in the chat. Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda, Sports Network, unfortunately. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's unfortunate that we have it just seems that we have an asshole of who I think is a snake in the grass of an owner. And we got a GM that can't obviously scout talent or draft it either, much less of that. Guys, there's 12 people watching, only 13 likes, which I know that means that not everybody in here has pounded the like button. So make sure you pound that like button. Much appreciated. All right. The more you like, the more the algorithm gets out there to others that aren't watching the channel. I take a Eagle second wide receiver, the kid from Bama. Oh, you're talking about Smith for Burns straight up? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. David Tepper doesn't care about the Panthers. He cares about the Carolina soccer team. Yeah, I could see that, honestly. I could give a rat's ass about that soccer team. Yeah, oh, he's definitely on the hot seat. I knew Tepper was ass ever since he fired Ron Rivera. Oh, Riverboat Ron. Riverboat Ron seems like he's about to get fired over there in Washington too, though. Right? Riverboat Ron looks like he's about to get fired over there. What will be our record after this season? I hope Fitterer gets fired. Sorry, but not sorry. I mean, we're on pace to go 0-17, guys. I mean, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest with ourselves here. We're on pace to go 0-17. But I see us going like 3-14. We'll get 3 wins somewhere, right? Probably one at the last game of the season, maybe last game of the season when no one's playing their starters and we are, right? But the Texans, Colts, Bears, those 3 games are probably the best probability of us winning any games. So maybe the Titans, but the Titans look good right now. But other than that, maybe you get a win against the Falcons. I mean, if we go on a streak, right? I mean, we could win more than that, but I don't see it happening. I'm not that optimistic at this point, right? It's very hard to be optimistic when you're about to be 0-6 heading into the bye week. And guys, honestly, I won't be surprised if there's trades going on after this week or no later by early next week. I won't be surprised by if we wake up Monday morning if there's not a trade, if there's not trades being involved with the Carolina Panthers. I will not be surprised if we wake up Monday morning, next Monday morning, this coming Monday morning, and there is an ESPN alert on your phone saying trade alert, Carolina Panthers has traded so-and-so. Your judge should have kept Wilkes. I wanted Wilkes. I didn't want Frank Wright. I've been on the YouTube channel for the past 3 years, and I've always liked Steve Wilkes. But I told people last year when we went through the whole process that we should have kept him. I didn't like the Frank Wright signing. I didn't like it. Just like I didn't like the Miles Sanders signing. Yeah, Walt G, you didn't know that? You didn't know we had a soccer team? They're not very good from my understanding. Walt G, the fire alarm goes off every day in Shitter's office. Probably. Smells like barbecue in that office. Dude, can we trade Fitz with Burns like a combo package? That doesn't work like that with GMs. I don't think you can trade GMs. Much less did I know that you can make trades for coaches like the Broncos and the whole Saints thing. So I had no idea about that until it happened. I never knew you could trade for a head coach. Oh, man. So let's get into these trade rumors real quick. All right. So trade rumors, obviously, we got the trade deadline coming up. Obviously, there's going to be some potential buyers, right? We're obviously looking into getting a wide receiver. Probably, I know there's been talks that we've been trying to market out Terrace Marshall, Tommy Trimble. That name's been thrown around. Brian Burns, of course, name's been thrown around in the trade market. Justin Jefferson, I don't see us getting Justin Jefferson. I mean, I just don't. I mean, he might want out, but like I said, also, guys, don't be surprised either this week, guys, that if you see Kirk Cousins' name get thrown around and that he gets traded, don't be surprised. But Justin Jefferson definitely wants out of Minnesota. I will say that. I just don't think Carolina's got the ability to do so, much less our front office to. I don't trust our front office to get it done. So, and do it and get it done without us getting swindled, right? So, because in recent reports have disclosed that obviously we all know the Panthers want a wide receiver, right? They're in pursuit of a wide receiver, potential other positions as well, right? But what's interesting is that the Panthers have indicated their reluctance to trade players for future draft picks. And the Panthers' strategy is what has given our current predicament to an 0-5 start because of the way that they choose so, which is so puzzling and confusing to me and so frustrating now at this point, guys. Because you expect a team with a rookie quarterback, especially one that's as promising as Bryce Young, to prioritize acquiring draft picks to build a future around this guy. However, the strategy is that the Panthers' early move in which they traded their 2024 first-round pick to the Chicago Bears to secure the opportunity to get Bryce in the first place. We are deprived of a first-round pick in this year's upcoming draft. So the idea of securing an established player at the trade deadline to hold some merit, right? Whether the trade approach is seen as a risky move, right? The Panthers are focusing on trying to get a wide receiver to support Bryce, right? The Young has already developed, I think, a promising rapport with Adam Thielen, right? Even if those Pro Bowl, the rest of the Panthers wide receiver core, besides Adam Thielen, who's made a Pro Bowl, I think DJ Chark made a Pro Bowl one year, but I'm not sure about that. But the rest of this group, including DJ Chark, Terrace Marshall Jr., LaVisca, Jonathan Mingo, continue to struggle to make an impact in these games. They continue to struggle and create separation to open up the passing lanes to help Bryce Young out, get the ball out and down the field. And they just haven't done it. Right? So the thing is that the debate is whether or not the receivers or the rookie quarterback are primarily responsible for this situation. And it continues. Regardless, the Panthers' willingness to explore, right, trade opportunities is showing some commitment now. I will say that because I have said in the past that I feel like I question this front office commitment to its key players. And now that Bryce has won, and now there's talks out there that they're trying to create trade opportunities to help Bryce out, definitely proves a little bit of their commitment. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the Brian Burns situation, it also makes me think that they're not. But they do need to get support for this kid, man. At the end of the day, if you don't get this guy some support, you're going to ruin him. Whether it's on the offensive line, the running back position, the tight end position, the wide receiver position, you have to get support around him, and you got to build a system around him that fits his strengths. That's what it comes down to today. Because if you don't, we're going to end up looking like the New York Jets when Adam Gase was there, right? So the best possibility at this point is for you to build around him. So that's what you got to do. You got to build around him. Guys, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content on the YouTube channel. All right. Make sure you go over to the YouTube channel over here on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, I'm going to start going live while I go live on YouTube. So if you're just joining in, I'm a Carolina Panthers YouTuber / TikToker. I also talk about NFL content on here on TikTok and over here on the YouTube channel. My link tree is in my bio. So if you would love to come and join, please do so. All right, let's get in the chat here for a minute. We're supposed to get the OC from the Lions, but decided to stay there in Detroit. I would have loved to get him, but it doesn't. I doubt that. I mean, I knew that wasn't going to be the case. I just knew it. I mean, I wanted him as a head coach. I wanted to get Ben Johnson as a head coach. Like, if it wasn't Steve Wilkes, I wanted Ben Johnson. But I knew that wasn't going to happen. I knew it was going to be a long shot there. I don't know my English is good, but I hate the news. They call Bryce already a bust, but that's unfair. I believe in him, and I think everybody will be surprised when he has players around him. Oh, my gosh. No, I got you. I mean, here at the end of the day. So, guys, I'm also watching the YouTube channel, so I see when the ads come on, so I pause in between, so so y'all can hear me when I talk. So to that statement there, I do believe him. Like I said in the description of this live stream right here, man. Forget about the past, right? We can't do anything about it, whether we wanted Stroud or not, whether Frank Wright wanted Stroud or not, right? Whether Tepper's the one who's causing this issues or not, right? The one who's getting in their face, in their ear, right? Whether or not that's the case. But at this point, you got to forget about the past and you have to move on and you have to make this work now because you have Bryce Young and that's it. You have to build around him now. You have no other choice. You have to embrace Bryce. You have to put a system around him and you got to put talent around him. And you got to build up this depth chart and the depth and the talent to do so. You can't just sit here and think that this shit was like, if anybody thought that this shit was going to happen overnight, you're out of your mind. Like, if anybody ever thought that us getting a rookie quarterback, yes, he's a number 1 overall pick, but I have never known a number 1 overall pick to come out and just become Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, the guys that are elite in this league, Josh Allen, right? I've never seen it. And I mean, I don't think there's anybody out there that was a first overall pick that immediately just came out and made this team a playoff team. There's not. So I feel like a lot of people expect just because he's a first overall pick that he should come out, fit right into any system, go out and throw for 4,000 yards. That's just not how it works. You have to put pieces around him. You have to put a competent offensive line. You have to have a system that fits him. You have to have a competent play calling head coach or an offense coordinator, whichever one you want there. You have to have a head coach that can manage the game, right? Who can show some discipline, who could show some motivation, wants his players to excel. There's a lot of factors that go along into developing a team, right? It's not just one key player. Last time I checked, there's a 52-man roster for a reason, not just one player, right? Marcos, thank you for joining the live stream, man. Have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you joining the live stream today. Yeah, we're supposed to be our head coach this year, and never happened, like you said. Yep. And Bryce has the front runner for rookie of the year at the beginning of the year. I know. Well, I think no, Bijan Robinson was the one that a lot of people were choosing to be the front runner. He had more from the betting standpoint. Bijan had the highest chances. He was the favorite. So, guys, again, thank you so much for joining the live stream again today, guys. I appreciate everyone joining. I also appreciate everyone that has become a member of the YouTube channel, has subscribed to the channel, has pounded that like button as you've come in. I appreciate that. Also, make sure you join the Discord. Okay, in my link tree, there's a Discord link. Join that if you want to get involved in the jersey giveaway this Friday. There's a jersey giveaway this Friday. All right. So if you want to get involved in that, join the Discord, subscribe to the channel, screenshot in the hashtag giveaway chat in my Discord, screenshot that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, and your name will be involved in that. All right. Sorry, I was away. Did you answer my question? What question did you ask? Oh, the record prediction? I know you asked me about a record prediction. About Bryce and the media. Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, I already answered that question, but I'll reiterate it real quick. Basically, he's not a bust. Again, you have to put pieces around him, right? Anybody that, like I said, anybody that expects a guy that's a first overall pick, right? Who's a first overall pick to immediately just come out and fit right into any system, fit right into any group of roster. You don't know ball. I mean, I hate to say that. You just don't. You don't know ball. There's not ever been a first round pick that just automatically fits, right? There's not a first round pick that automatically just fits into every system. And there's no first round pick that just comes out there and balls out. Peyton Manning didn't. I mean, everybody's rookie here has its ups and downs. Same thing with Trevor Lawrence. Look what happened with Trevor Lawrence. Shitty roster. They built around it. Look what happened. He's not a bust. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Let them talk. Let them say, well, we should have went with CJ Stroud, or maybe that people are saying we should have went with Anthony Richardson. But those people don't know ball. Like, if they definitely think that we should have went with Anthony Richardson, the guy who can't stay healthy and stay on the field, right? Because the best ability, and last time I checked, the best ability is availability when it comes to the NFL. So, that's just not how it works. So you got to be able to build around him. And at this point, the past is the past. Like I said, guys, the past is the past. You got to embrace Bryce, and that's it. Right? We can't go back in time and change the draft picks. We can't go back in time and change the trades. We're in this now, and we have to deal with it. This organization has now made its bed, and we have to lay in it. And unfortunately for us fans, we have to deal with it too. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I still think that this team, I still believe in Bryce. I still believe at least in him, right? I think that we can, if we make the right moves, we can do so. What's up? Also, go Canes today. Yeah, baby. The Canes, baby. Playing tonight. Playing tonight. They are playing tonight, bruh. I think that Scott Fitter should be fired. Absolutely, Vietnam. He absolutely should be fired. He should be fired. Adam Peters, the assistant GM over there in San Francisco. David Tepper needs to make a call and see if he would like to become the GM of the Carolina Panthers if he fires Scott. I think every Panthers fan thinks that, and it's true. Right. I don't know, man. I've seen people on Twitter. I try to stay off of Twitter because Twitter's you can lose some brain cells from some people on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, Vietnam, I've also said that it's maybe time for a fire sale. Get rid of Scott. Get rid of Miles Sanders. Or trade Miles Sanders. Trade Frankie Louvu. Trade Brian Burns. Trade Dante Jackson. Trade Jeremy Chin. Trade Andy Dalton. Feel like I'm missing somebody, right? Oh, that's cool. Where did that bubble come from? Did y'all see that bubble? Oh, there it is again. That's cool. That's sick. Look at that. Guys, make sure you pound the like button. Let's see if it does it again. I'm such a child. I am such a child. I am such a child. David Tepper is not wanting to fire anyone, even the ones that need to be fired really bad. I know. The bubble is nice. I didn't know I could do that. Let's see if it does it again. Holy shit. That's sick. Austrian NFL. I think I'm your most far away subscriber because you're an Austrian or in Austria. I have a guy that's from Argentina, I think. He was just in the chat. Where's he at? He was in the chat earlier. Yeah, Argentina. I have a guy, Maxi Sanchez, who's a subscriber. He's from the Argentina. Oh, Maxi, there's Maxi Sanchez. We were just talking about you because Austrian said he was further than you. I don't know. I don't know the distance between here to Argentina and here to the distance Austria. Probably Austria is further because I would have to go across waters, and then Argentina is further south of me. So, but that's pretty cool, man. I love that we have different cultures and different countries in here. It's pretty cool to see that. I love it. Well, Austrian and Maxi Sanchez, since y'all are in other countries, y'all should definitely help me out and get my channel out in the Austrian and the Argentinian community for me. That would be awesome. Fire sale, absolutely. Get the draft picks we need to start over and will help us. That's exactly. And then from the defensive standpoint, you build around Derek Brown, and then the offensive standpoint, you're building around Bryce, right? That's the thing, right? I mean, Brian Burns, as much as I love him, he's one of my favorite players, but we need draft capital at this point because we've shot ourselves in the foot and our organization has put us in this position that now we have to try to get, we have to try to get key players. Tommy Toval, do you have any fantasy advice? Depends on what the what the question is to fantasy, my friend. What's your fantasy question? And then I do fantasy. So definitely, at least in Argentina, there's not a football community. It's really hard finding people that even watch football, even harder finding Panthers fans. Well, this is a good way to obviously showcase that and show them the YouTube channel and have them come over and, obviously join the live and chat, right? So if they do that, it's a good way for them to get involved and understand the game more and good for them to, maybe they like it. Some people like football, I know Argentina, y'all are big for soccer. That's y'all's thing. I get it, right? Austria too. Oh, Austrian, have you showed them my channel? Trading George Kittle for Amari Cooper. The problem is right now, Amari Cooper is going up against San Fran. Or, I mean, Amari Cooper's going up against San Fran this week. So if you make that trade now, plus with Deshaun Watson being out, I wouldn't do it this week, Tommy. I would, if you want to wait to see when Deshaun Watson comes back, I would do so, but I wouldn't make that trade. I wouldn't do it because they're playing San Fran and Deshaun Watson right now didn't practice today. So from a fantasy standpoint, I would say no. But unless you're in a tight position to get needing wide receivers, I mean, then I would say yeah. I mean, that's a tough one. That's a very, very tough one, Tommy. I don't want to tell you from right from wrong. Because that is a very, very tough one. Because Amari Cooper is going up against San Fran, who's got a great defense. Then you got George Kittle, but then Amari Cooper might not be good playing with Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson didn't practice today. So from a fantasy standpoint, it's very hard for me to pick that one. But if you're hurting for wide receivers and you can make that trade, then I would do it. At least from a standpoint of if you're hurting for wide receivers. Does that make sense? That's just a tough one. Let's see what we got in here. See what we got in the chat. If we get draft capital before this year's draft, we can get some line like if I'm in a 14-man league, I have CD. Okay, you got CD, Puka, Garrett Wilson, Watson, bye. Well, Watson's out. They're not on a. Oh, you're talking about Christian Watson. Sorry. KJ Osborne. So, I mean, then I would say stick with Kittle then. Who's your backup tight end? Tommy, that's the question. Who's your backup tight end? Do you have a backup tight end or no? For the Marvin Harrison comment, I would say Xavier Leggett is a guy to look at. He's out of South Carolina. He's 6'3", 230, runs a 4.3 40. Freakish athlete. He's got that AJ Brown size. He's got Tyreek Hill speed. No joke. This guy is a freak of nature. Xavier Leggett leads the NCAA right now in receiving yards. I would be looking at Xavier Leggett if I'm looking at anybody. Just because I know we're not going to get Marvin Harrison because Marvin Harrison is going to be a first-round pick. Austrian, we could do that. We could do that. We could definitely do that. We could definitely do that. I'd be definitely down. Definitely, Maxie. We can make it happen, man. Y'all just got to let me know when you're in town. But the only way you're going to be able to let me know, guys, is unless, right, you join the Discord. So join that Discord, guys, and you can get involved. It's a great way for you to chat with this community, man. Like all the people that we've got like 20 people in the Discord now. So it's a great way to get people involved for y'all. And then it's also a great way to chat with me. Marcos Cash is in there. Starbucks Cups in there. Glitches is in there. Jadarius is in there. Who else is in there? Chris is in there. Q is in there from the Black Cat Panther podcast. Cyburn 21's in there. Now Max is in there. So it continues to grow. It's great. And I always post stuff in there. Tommy, thank you for the follow, my friend. I hope I was able to give you some decent advice. I hope it works out for you. Fantasy it's tough, man. Fantasy's tough. I'm doing well in mine. I feel like a lot of the time fantasy is a lot of research, but it's also a lot of luck. So, but Tommy, thank you for following me. Appreciate you. Oh, definitely him, Panther Raider X. Yeah, go look him up, man. Go look at Xavier Leggett from the University of South Carolina. He leads the NCAA right now in passing yards, passing or receptions, and I think pretty sure he leads in touchdowns, but he might not anymore. Especially after the Tennessee game we lost. But another thing is, too, guys. Like I said, he's 6'3", 230, runs like he's got Tyreek Hill speed almost. So he's big. He's a big time player, man. He would be good. He would be a good fit for what we're trying to do in this offense. He'd be a good target for Bryce to go after. Or come to London or Germany and watch a football game. I would love to. I would love to do that. I've got to re-up my passport, actually, because I'm supposed to go to Australia next year for a work trip. So didn't even know there was a Discord. Join now. Yeah. So TikTok and YouTube. Join the Discord if you want to become part of the Carolina Panthers community that I've built. It's a great way to get involved with the YouTube channel, the TikTok. The link tree is in my bio, so if you want to join, check it out. You can also check out my YouTube channel through the link tree over there at TikTok. That's where we're at. That's what I'm live at right now. Over here on YouTube, guys, make sure you pound the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Also, share the live out. It always helps out. Join me. Go down the link tree. Like I said, join the Discord, guys. Join the Discord over here. All right. And also, if you want to get involved in the jersey giveaway, again, make sure you take a screenshot. Put it in the hashtag giveaway chat in the Discord, and your name will get put on this Friday when we do the spin the wheel for it. Also, check out all my social media in the link tree. You can follow me there. Then also, this is sponsored by BetUS.com. Sign up for free today, and you get 125% bonus on your first bet. Also got a contract working out right now with Manscaped, so we're going to have some stuff coming from them here soon. So shout out to them. All right. So make sure you do all that. All right. How does it work? I never won something. Oh, so basically your name just gets put on the spin the wheel. This is because y'all got me over because we reached 2,500 subscribers on YouTube 3 months ago, whatever it was. And I promised everybody, a giveaway. And, I didn't do it when I said I was going to, but now I'm going to do it because I honestly forgot. And that was on me. So, but now we're going to do it. So I want to make sure we do it. Okay. So guys, I'm going to hop off of here. TikTok, thank you so much. Make sure you follow me here. Go check out the link tree. Come join the YouTube, join the Discord. Talk a lot about NFL, Carolina Panthers football. So make sure you come check me out. All right. Appreciate everyone over here on the TikTok side. Thank you so much for your love and support. Appreciate y'all. I'll be live again tomorrow, and I'll be posting up some new stuff. All right. Appreciate it. Peace. All right. Sorry, I was on that was TikTok. That was TikTok. So we got, I was going live on TikTok. Oh, guys, I'm not leaving yet. I'm not leaving. I was just signing off on TikTok. I'm not leaving the YouTube yet. I was just signing off on the TikTok.
How can you ask me that question?
Because I'm going to start going live. I'm going to start going live on TikTok and over here. It helps out boost both. You know what I mean? The more you go live, you know, more platforms you can go live on, the better. You know what I mean? You had me in the first half. That's right, Cyburn. Also, guys, become a member. Cyburn, again. Also, guys, check this out. So, Cyburn became a member. So, Cyburn, thank you so much. Shout out to you. Thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. All right. Thank you so much for doing that. Panther Raider, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for giving me a follow on TikTok. Appreciate you. Shout out to you. All right. So I appreciate everyone again. So again, all right, now I'm going to hop off of YouTube. So I appreciate everyone joining again. Make sure you pound the like button on your way out. All right. Peace.